Hello, friends. It's October. So I love Halloween, but I don't necessarily like the real creepy Halloween. I like the pretty Halloween, the pretty witches, the pretty pumpkins, the Cinderella pumpkins. So a lot of my Halloween cards that I make are not necessarily spooky, gory, or scary. So today I'm starting several cards that I'll be sending out to friends and family and my grandkids. You've seen me use these before. These are the Strathmore cards. I love them. They're 140-pound cold press. I'll put my link below that I used to order. They're a really nice kind of a stiff feel, and they've got a great texture. But what I really like about them too is they have these gorgeous envelopes. See that edge? Isn't that so lovely? I love it. So I'm already starting on all my Halloween cards, my fall cards. I just completed this one. You'll hopefully saw the tutorial on that one. That was a lot of fun. And I might be adding in, I just got these on Amazon. They were a little pricey, but I thought they'd be fun. But you can use your gold, you can use a black pen. I haven't even tried these, so I'm gonna try the gold one out. So anyway, I will also share this sketch if you would like it, or maybe I'll even make a kit out of it for $2.50, something like that. So let me just draw in here our little spider web. There we go. And I am horrible at calligraphy. So if you are good at calligraphy, you can always come up with your own version of this. But I pretty much have to use some type of template. There we go. I just thought this was going to be so cute. And I'm going to make several of these. These would be really pretty, by the way, on that black paper with maybe some metallic. I think that would be really pretty. And isn't that a cute little pin? I've had that forever. It's an antique. And it's kind of inspiring me. I should have a name for him, shouldn't I? Or her. So let me get this drawn on, and then we will create our little spiders hanging down here. Oops, forgot that. This is kind of an easier font for me. But gosh, like I said, if you are good at, have good writing, then you know you can create your own. But I'm going to go ahead and stick with my template. Let me grab a ruler here so I can get that line straight. Here we go. And then my spider, I'll just freehand it down there at the bottom. So we've got one line, two lines, and three. There we go. Okay, cute. Our little spider, I'm just going to do a round body like that. Something simple. And then we'll do some little legs here. There we go. Isn't that cute? And these are, you know, cards that you can make a lot of, and it's not going to be too crazy. So I can make several of these. Put a little dot in the center. By the way, this is a micron pen. I have the whole set, but I seem to really gravitate towards the 08. There we go. Isn't that fun? I'm going to go ahead. Let me find my little kneaded eraser. And go over this so it gets rid of some of my pencil marks. There we go. Look at how cute it is already, and basically simple. And look at this, isn't that cute? That's an old and kind of an antique, I guess, earring I've had for a long time. So not sure, but I thought that might inspire me for some things as well. Okay. So we've got that drawn on. What I'm going to do is I'm just going, and by the way, I'm using my mylang tubes over here. You've probably seen me using these recently. Let me move my camera over there. So I've been playing with this palette a lot. I love it. It fits on my desk. One of you suggested I put it on a Lazy Susan, which I did. You guys are so awesome. And I can just spin it around, and why I love it is it's got this huge mixing area. But it is the mylang paints. I just filled it with the tubes, which I'll put in the description below if you'd like to do that as well. So just spraying it, but it's got this huge, let me see if I can look at the size. Isn't that wonderful? So I rarely have to get a new palette. I can just use that. And this, let's see. Let's see. I kind of want to see how this works. I don't want to ruin an envelope. Excuse me. Let's see here. I have never used these. So kind of pretty. They were kind of pricey, but I couldn't stand it. So extra large ink cartridge roller. I like the roller ball tip too, and iridescent colors. So I don't know, we'll see. I've got these here just in case I want to grab some of those. All right, so let's go ahead and start painting here. I think what I want to do is a fun background, and that's why I did kind of tape it out. So let me find my, this is just coming to me. Let's see if I can find my Envision paints. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. That kind of came to me as I was getting ready to paint these. Here they are. These are those Supervision. They're really great. I did a tutorial on these. They're really great for this type of work. So I think what I'll use, let's go for this one. What these are good for is they do really well in wet on wet. Let me see if I can find, this kind of was an afterthought, guys. Sorry about that. So these are the colors, and this is the kind of stuff they do. So I think that'll be really pretty. In the background is maybe this one, which I believe, I've got the two sets here. I think it's this. Let's see, let's just put a little bit in here and just, these two are quite similar, but where this is really great is, I hope that's the right one, is Wet and Wet, and they get these beautiful colors. So I think that's gonna be really pretty here. Okay. I'm using my 8 brush. I think that's it. If you use them just together, wet on dry, they come out basically one color. But if you use wet on wet, they spread and turn into different colors. So that's what I want to do here. So let's go over here, and I think it'll be really pretty for the background. I should use a bigger brush here. That's silly. Let's see, I got my brush from my subscription box. Okay. So the wetter I can get it, the more it's going to spread, and we're going to get that beautiful separation in the colors. And of course, you can use whatever you have for your background. So I'm kind of painting around my little spiders, although I really don't have to. but I am going to. And I'm getting this pretty wet because the wetter it is, the more this, these colors separate. So I really am kind of dousing it here. There we go. Okay, now let's start going in with our colors. And I'm gonna drop it in. Ooh, look at that. To me, like, purple is the epitome of Halloween, just for me. And then I can paint around these little guys because I'm not sure what color I'm going to do them yet. There we go. And if it dries, just get it wet again. Because like I said, these paints are really made for wet and wet. Notice I'm leaving a little bit of some white spaces here and there too. And then as this dries, it will turn all the different colors. So look how fun that is. I think what I might do at this point is just dry it a little with my heat gun. So let's go ahead. I hope this is dark enough. Let's put a little bit more. I love around the edges when it gets really dark, because then when we take our tape off, it's gonna really make a big impression, a big impact. Okay, so wash, rinse my brush. This is my 8 brush, by the way, but I can list the Princeton 8 down below. Okay, I'm gonna give this a shot and get it dried. And there we go. So this is pretty dry. Might just drop in a little bit more of that blue. Add some water. I mostly want to dry it so that when I go to paint my little spiders, and I like that I left the white on there too. You know, they'll kind of pop out. So what I'm going to use for the spiders is going to be this gold, even the silver. These are the MABs, the silver series, or let's see, she calls it mirror series. It would be pretty here, but I think I'm going to go for this gold, and I tend to use the brilliant gold, which actually both of these are brilliant gold. So let's just use, you know what? I'm going to get my smaller brush just because I want to. So this is a brush in my subscription box, but you can use the 8 too. And I'm going to go in. Oh, look how cute. Oh my gosh. How cute is this? So I've got the Glam spider thing going on here, right? Oh, so cute. I'm going to go ahead and do his little legs in gold. Oh my gosh, my grandkids will love this. They're probably going to want to make these with me. And then I'll do this one here. Like that. Oh, so fun. This is so satisfying to me as well. There we go. Just a light touch using the tip of my brush. So fun. Look at how cute they are. Now I'm kind of wishing, I think on the next card, what I will do is go ahead and make them a little bit bigger. They're kind of little. I think they could be quite a bit bigger actually. But that's okay. This is my first one, so. And I can't do that last leg because it's still wet over there. And I have a feeling my grandkids are not going to complain. Let's see what the silver, the mirror series looks like on there. So I will get some of that on my brush here. Now some of this is still wet. And you may just want to leave your web in black, and that is perfectly okay as well because it does show up a little bit better. Let's see what it looks like to make our webs silver. Look how fun. Oh, I love this. I know my grandkids are gonna want to paint these with me. I'll hold this up too once I get that off so you can see what this looks like. Now I need to dry that just a bit more. I got it pretty wet over here on that side. Whew. I feel like my heat gun is going to blow up any minute. Okay, let's do this. These would be pretty in gold as well. But I wanted to mix the silver and the gold. There we go. So again, you could keep the little cobwebs in black because they do show up a bit better. Let's get this one. There we go. Oh, this is so cute. There we go. And I will hold this up so you can see it. Look how fun that is. Okay. If this is dry enough, I'm going to give it one more little blast here. And can you see the beautiful colors here? Blues, purples, it kind of changes. And that is that supervision. But if you don't want to invest in this, you can just drop in blues and purples and whatever color you want. I'm going to give this one more blast. Okay, there we go. Here is the best part. This is the part I always love, is peeling off the tape. I ended up not using my palette, obviously. So I'm going to pull it as close as I can flat. I just found for me, it seems to rip less when I do that. Let's do the next piece right here. Oop. And I love that clean white border. There's just something about that that is so satisfying, isn't there? And of course, this is probably the only time of year I've used the black tape. I usually use the real colorful pieces of tape. There we go. Oh, look how cute this is. And there you go. Now what I'm going to do as well is I will write on, so let me hold this up so you can see. Look at how cute that is. I'm going to decorate the envelope. I'll put their names on it and maybe put a spider web in the corners and a little spider hanging down. I will tell you, the envelopes I don't believe are really made to be painted on. They're quite a bit thinner, so they're definitely not 140 pound. But I've done it and I just don't use too much water, and it's worked. It's always worked well for me. So there we go. There is my very first Halloween card, and I hope you guys give this one a try too. All right, everybody, happy Halloween.